Hello and welcome to another IELTS essay correction. The purpose today is to discuss this question before moving to the answer. You can find a link to this answer correction below this YouTube video. Many students have expressed a doubt regarding this question. About 2 or 3 students have asked me what exactly is the meaning of this question or how should we proceed with it. Let us go through the statement and I will discuss 2 approaches which the students have asked me, and there has been a confusion regarding what exactly should they do. The best way to reduce traffic congestion in cities is to provide free public transport service. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give your opinion and examples from your own experience. This is a recent IELTS question. Well, if you go through the question again, the best way to reduce traffic congestion in cities, of course, is to provide free public transport service. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Well, there is no doubt about agreement. There is a clear structure if you agree with this statement. What if you disagree? You have more disagreement points. Well, in that case, students have asked me whether, if they disagree, what should they do? Should they discuss other modes of transport that reduce traffic congestion? Well, the first thing is, should they discuss other modes of transport that reduce traffic congestion? Or should they discuss only why this free public transport service? Free public transport service is inadequate, is not optimum solution, not an optimum solution, is not the best solution. Why is it not a best solution? Well, the right approach is this one. You're not supposed to challenge the validity of this statement. You can either agree with this or disagree with this. You're not being asked what are the best ways to reduce traffic congestion. So if you talk about other modes of transport other than traffic congestion, or some other ways of reducing traffic congestion, that will be wrong. So you're not supposed to discuss should some taxes be imposed on private vehicles, or there should be some stringent lawful measures, or some legislation that the government should implement. The legislation. So that will be a wrong approach. You are just here to discuss why this is not the best solution, not best solution. Well, while discussing not best solution part, you can give examples of the other modes, but you cannot solely rely on other modes. So other modes or other measures, not necessarily always modes, but measures that can help reduce traffic congestion. So I hope the point is clear. You are just supposed to stick to this part, and this student has followed a right approach in answering this question. Well, let us discuss what exactly has he done. There are some issues over here. Just one thing in the introduction, which I usually recommend to all students, that they should mention the reasons. Mention the reasons why this is not the right solution. Since private vehicles, why free public transport services cannot solve the issue of traffic congestion, since private vehicles are more comfortable and safe, and they provide end-to-end connectivity. Now, free public transport is neither comfortable nor safe, and it never provides end-to-end connectivity. What do I mean by end-to-end? There is a source and you move to destination. However, the private vehicle covers only this much area. What about the remaining components of your journey? So it covers only part 2. What about part 1 and part 3? Private vehicles cover this entire end-to-end connectivity, while public vehicles do not. And the student has adequately discussed them. The ideas are mentioned and explained. Let us go through this paragraph, for instance, body paragraph 2. The student begins, though there is a grammar mistake, there's nothing called the another. So it's just another, or, it's another or the other reason is that the restricted availability of public transport. Now, the problem here is he has tried to connect two different elements. This is a disadvantage of public transport, while the next one is advantage of private vehicles. So there is a contrast over here. Different modes of transport are being compared. The comparison cannot be made of two opposite things, cannot be made using and. Better forms would have been whereas or while, or start a new sentence using on the other hand. So there, this shows a contrast. Okay, you're moving from one domain to another domain. Okay, now another important point is that the student has explained the restricted availability of public transport. So one has to wait for public transport to commute, but personal vehicle can be used anytime to travel anywhere. And he has given an example. So though the sentences can be better written and there are a few mistakes, however, the best part is that the idea is clear and explanation is adequate. This is what is required primarily to develop a good argument. So the argument is well developed. Though there are some mistakes and this may cause some bans, however, this is not this essay will score really good on development of arguments, which is a primary requirement of any English language communication. Similarly, over here, the problem here begins with lack of explanation, and the student here tries to add another element, breaking this principle. The principle is very well implemented over here, but here the student talks about, moreover, there is no need to carry luggage every time during driving cars. So some sentence structuring issues. However, the idea is taken up, not well explained. Okay. Another element I would like to emphasize over here is, let me use this color. Go through this sentence. This is itself very well written and there is no need of further explanation. However, there is something which is missing. Just go through it. Finally, safety is a major concern in buses and other public vehicles, as the incidents of thefts and pickpocketing are common in a crowd, while in cars one can keep valuables safely. Now this is fine. There's no need of a pronoun over here. This is fine. However, there's a lack of context over here. So, okay, private vehicles do not suffer from these problems. However, how does it address, or how do free public transport vehicles fail in preventing any traffic congestion? So there's a need to enter a sentence. Free public transport cannot replace cars as preferred and safer mode of transport and safe mode of transport, and hence cannot address the traffic problem. You just have to add this one simple line to maintain a proper context. So this is really important in order to write a proper answer, that you should add the element, okay, this is the reason that free public transport is not a best solution to this problem. It cannot address the traffic problem. The idea is very correctly mentioned and somehow adequately explained. However, to write a proper context, you have to address the traffic problem. Bring it into picture that it cannot address the issue. So this was my take on this question, explaining this question and some of the elements that are well covered in this answer. There are areas that can be improved, and I have given my comments over here. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and make it a learning experience. Stay tuned for more.